Every day, you cross a specific architectural threshold. When you return to a private home, you push your front door inward to enter. But when you walk into a school, an airport, or a shopping mall, the exit doors always swing outward. In a residential setting, perimeter security is the primary concern. By swinging inward, the door's hinge pins are kept safely inside the structure, preventing an intruder from simply removing the pins to lift the door out of its frame. In high-occupancy commercial spaces, the physical pressure of the crowd replaces the lone intruder as the primary architectural threat. The direction a door swings is a strict mechanical boundary, separating the security of a private residence from the physics of crowd panic. Under extreme psychological duress, humans stop navigating as independent actors. According to the social force model used by architectural engineers, a panicked crowd begins to behave like a highly pressurized fluid. Looking at a fluid dynamics simulation of pasturing flow, we can see the tipping point. When crowd density reaches 5 people per square meter, individuals lose physical control, carried by group momentum. As urgency increases, the faster is slower effect emerges. Pedestrians pushing toward a narrow doorway spike friction, forming a self-sustaining, rigid arch of jammed bodies, completely blocking the exit. A group of just 5 people pushing forward generates over 3,400 newtons of horizontal force. This is enough pressure to compress a human chest so tightly the lungs cannot expand to exhale or take another breath. In a mass panic event, unyielding architecture often pins victims upright, causing them to succumb to compressive asphyxia rather than trampling. This photograph shows the interior of the Iroquois Theatre in Chicago following a massive fire in December 1903. Black arrows indicate the exit doors. When the blaze broke out, over 2,000 attendees rushed these exits. Because the doors swung inward toward the auditorium, the fluid pressure of the fleeing crowd pinned the door leaves permanently shut against their frames. 602 people died in the crush. 8 years later, a fire broke out on the upper floors of the Ash Building in Manhattan, home to the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory. In this dense, tightly packed workspace, management routinely locked stairwell doors to prevent theft. When workers rushed for the few unlocked exits, they found doors that opened inward. The panicking workers crowded against the wood, making it impossible to step back and pull them open. 146 garment workers died. These tragedies proved the social force model in real time, demonstrating that an inward swinging door in a crowded space acts as a lethal pressure-activated trap. The breaking point for modern building codes arrived in 1942, captured here in the blown-out windows of Boston's Coconut Grove Nightclub. The building's main entrance was a single revolving door. As a fire swept through the paper decorations, the crowd stampeded. Bodies piled up on both sides of the glass, instantly jamming the mechanism. This funnel trapped and killed 492 patrons. A hardware salesman named Carl Prinzler, who had narrowly avoided the Iroquois Theatre disaster decades earlier, helped engineer a mechanical solution for these bottlenecks: the panic bar, also known as the crash bar. The mechanism balances the threat model. It remains securely locked from the outside, but on the inside, it requires no complex fine motor skills to operate. A simple application of bodily force against the horizontal bar compresses the spring, unlatches the strike, and pushes the heavy door outward. The crash bar removes the burden of rational thought during a crisis. It relies entirely on fail-safe engineering to turn the crowd's physical momentum into a rapid escape mechanism. The accumulated forensic data from a century of these fires was compiled to create the modern safety standards we follow today, most notably the NFPA 101 Life Safety Code and the International Building Code. This schematic demonstrates a strict legal mandate known as the 50-occupant rule. If a room is calculated to hold 50 or more people or contains high-hazard materials, every exit door must be installed to swing outward in the direction of escape. To address the failure at the Coconut Grove, secondary code updates targeted revolving doors. Modern installations are now required to bookfold. Under emergency pressure, the circular panels break away from their central axis and fold flat, instantly creating a clear, unobstructed egress path. Today, architectural engineers use advanced algorithms based on the social force model to run thousands of digital crowd simulations. By testing exit capacities computationally, fatal bottlenecks are identified and eliminated long before the foundation is ever poured. Every single outward opening door, every illuminated exit sign, and steel panic bar you see in public is a piece of engineering written in blood. They are silent guardians designed specifically to outsmart our fatal panic instincts and ensure the architecture protects us.
Let us know in the comments what piece of hidden everyday engineering we should decode next, and subscribe for more deep dives into the architecture of our world.